Hello, today we want to talk about traceability requirement in UCO market in the USA. Used cooking oil is in high demand in USA, and also from 2023, the export from China to USA pick up. The volume grew since the summer of this year, and also from our company, we saw the increase export to US almost in the same speed of the overall market. And today I found a news in USA, somebody still use cooking oil from restaurant. Let's listen to it.
That cooking oil, used to create some of the most delicious restaurant food, has a second life, processed into biodiesel fuel. Yellow grease, as it's known, is worth more than $2 a gallon. Recycling companies like Sanamax pay the restaurants for it. But lately, thieves are sucking it up, stealing it, before the companies can get to it. This video is from a company detective who tracked accused thief 28-year-old Julin Dong from Chicago to Waukesha County, where he was recorded stealing used restaurant oil in broad daylight. That private detective followed that suspected oil thief here to this container behind the Taco Amigo in Waukesha, and again caught him in the act and called Waukesha police. That thief, though, didn't wait around.
When we first heard about the theft that we had in New Berlin here, I don't think any of the officers knew that was really a thing.
New Berlin police arrested Dong behind Big Tuna Restaurant, and he's accused of hitting a Golden Chicken restaurant in Waukesha along the way. 3 thefts netting more than $600 worth of oil in a little over an hour, leading to something new for police to watch out for.
We've never had any issues or complaints of any thefts of this nature, but they have been going on around the country.
Who knew? Nick, police in this area say this is new, but how big is this issue around the country?
Well, a Sanamax executive I talked to said it adds up to millions of dollars in losses a year, not to mention the environmental concerns, because those thieves often aren't real careful about how they get it, leaving a greasy mess behind.
A lot of money on the line. Nick Bohr reporting live tonight in Waukesha County.
Quite interesting. One fact is, in the report, they misuse used cooking oil and brown grease. That's just two different terms. Used cooking oil should be oil collected from the restaurant, and brown grease should be the grease or fat or oil collected from oil interceptor or oil trap. So I don't blame them. They are not in the UCO business. They just the TV news reporter. But that's also remind us used cooking oil is in high demand in US. Both Europe and USA, they have traceability requirement for the used cooking oil as a feedstock to biodiesel. The purpose of the traceability in US and Europe, they are the same. They want to trace all the material, and also they want to preventing fraud. As you remember, somebody export used cooking oil. They claim it's used cooking oil. Actually, they're not. They either will be palm oil or other oil, and they mix them together, or somebody they export the biodiesel finished product, but they claim everything, all the feedstock are used cooking oil. That sometimes they're not true. That's why in Europe they start to investigation of these issues. Although the purpose is the same, but the traceability requirement in Europe is quite standardized, but in US although Albert tried to follow RFS, but as we mentioned, as we mentioned, the detail could be different from one company to another, and also what we saw is the requirement from the government are not consistent. They keep changing, and that's why sometimes as an exporter or the importers, our client are an importer, sometimes they are not sure what exactly we can do to present to the government. Let's listen to another video regarding this issue.
Well, the whole intention of the policies that drive the market are to deliver the sustainability benefits that the regulators want to incentivize. So we as an industry need to be able to demonstrate the sustainability characteristics of the products the industry supplies into the market. And the traceability systems that we've developed over the last 10 years have been good enough to allow us to scale quickly, but in terms of securing the investment that we need and reassuring the customers of those sustainability benefits, we still need to do some work to improve those traceability systems. The various regulators around the world that drive the market for us dictate the specific risks that they're concerned about and the sustainability attributes that they want to incentivize, and that makes its way into the verification systems that are deployed into the supply chain. So those regulations need to be applied by the world's biggest energy companies, but also the people on the street that collect food waste and use cooking oil from cafes and restaurants. And there are millions of those people that work in cities every day who have to live with this regulatory requirement to report the sustainability characteristics. So we want those regulations to be satisfied, but we also want to implement them in a way that's conducive to increasing the scale of supply and making those people's lives easier. The ones who perform that job need to be supported rather than have a barrier imposed on them through bureaucratic traceability requirements. The scale of the supply chain shows that the day-to-day operations are extremely diverse. We have feedstock being sourced from the streets of Chicago, the streets of London, but also from Shanghai and every other city in the world with a big population, or a highly dense population. So the day-to-day operations are very diverse. The solutions that are deployed in the market are also diverse. People use a range of paperwork or IT systems or mobile apps to record those collections, and the industry generally has to agree a consensus on the minimum amount of information required to demonstrate compliance, and the maximum amount of confidence, to enable the maximum amount of confidence that we can give to the regulators and the people who incentivize the market. Well, I'm here in Chicago to learn the exact requirements on what's required into the US. We've built compliance regimes, IT solutions that help demonstrate compliance into the European market that has very clearly defined requirements. I think the requirements in the US for UCO traceability are relatively set in stone in the RFS guidance, but they're implemented in very different ways across the supply chain. And I think the spectrum of how those traceability efforts are deployed in the market shows that there are some supply chains that are more vulnerable to risk and mislabeling than others. And so I'm here to learn, to understand what does the supply chain feel is sufficient evidence to demonstrate UCO traceability. Are those companies willing to raise the bar to a level where they're happy to comply with, but also that they demand of their competitors? So can we raise the bar to create a fair market for everyone without imposing too much bureaucracy on the supply chain to enable it to scale to the levels it wants to? Well, clearly every city that has a lot of people creates UCO and creates food waste. So there is a physical potential of supply. The the companies in the market that are delivering that demand have said that there is no cap so far on how large that physical supply potential is. I think regulators and the industry and the people who assess risk in the supply chain need to decide, is that scale delivered by credible physical volumes, or is it somehow finding gaps in the compliance system to inflate those volumes with other products that people don't necessarily want to incentivize? Are there other streams of fats and oils that are being blended into the UCO supply chain and sold as UCO? That has happened in Europe, and there are fears that it might happen again in the US and in Europe. So I think we have a bit of soul searching to do to understand the total physical potential and how we get confident on that number.
That video was from Patrick Lynch. The video was posted in the Fast Marketers. I can insert the link in the comments. So I do agree with him. The traceability requirement should be fair. Fair means easy for the people in the supply chain to follow, and also easy for the government department or the agent to check. In US, the Environmental Protection Agency, they set up this RFS, Renewable Fuel Standard, and in this they request traceability, but they do not give all the details. As a UCO supplier, we did traceability according to ISCC requirement and also requirement from our client. So for one client, we do this separate food waste certification. That sounds like is a self-declaration style. In this document, we confirm the feedstock we supply meet the definition from US government. In another client, we give all the details from the inventory entered to our company, and also we give them the collection record of each gallon of the oil, where it come from, where the contact information in that restaurant. And also we give transportation distance calculation, and that means in which area we collect the used cooking oil for this order. It's not just for all the oil we do, but for that order what we did. And also we give them the third party inspection report. Okay, that's what I thought about traceability in US market. Any comment or question, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you next time.